Well, good evening to you, our viewers. Good evening to you all over the world. My name is Apostle Helen Rudokino. We have a youth forum this evening, and our topic is very exciting. We are talking about the radical sexual behavior of African youths and the health implications involved. So, as a definition, human sexual behavior is any activity so literally between two persons or in a group that induces sexual arousal. While risky sexual behavior is commonly defined as behavior that increases one's risk of contracting sexually transmitted infections. But today we will be talking about radical sexual behavior, which only this group can define for me. So our panelists today are Richard Quay. Say hello to Majesty Christian Television viewers.
Hello viewers, I'm Richard Che. Thank you for having me here. I'm also really glad to be here. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard. I called it Quay because
that's it.
Richard Che.
Che.
Richard Che.
Yeah.
All right, and also we have Thelma and Sons. Can you please say hello to our viewers out there?
Good afternoon, good evening, viewers.
Thank you. Are you happy being here? You need to hear your voice, not only your face.
I'm very happy to be here. So thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you, sweetheart. And then we have their leader, who is the fourth sector we call the president of this group, and she's not a person, but a lady that we've come to love. We just met her in about 2 times now, but the spirit she has is so awesome. So I felt she is of another generation of this of this sort of youths we have these days. So help us receive Miss Anita Bash.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anita, welcome to Majesty TV.
Thank you.
Okay. So we want to know what your passion for the youth of this time is.
Well, for this time, our passion is, we Sticking Agudia, is to help the youth with within our healthcare issues and all the issues that we have that they are not really solved within the community.
Okay, health issues. So you want to, your focus is more on the youths.
It's more on the youth, and it's not only with the health issues, but with the political and economic issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are just focused with the youth.
Yeah.
All right. So you buy to what she has said.
Yeah, I think we a good idea is aimed to help the youth, and not only to help the youth. Our focus is on the youth and nothing else, most on the youth. And as she just said, we have different areas of operation.
Yeah.
So the health issue is one and very important.
Yeah.
And we have the youth empowerment.
Okay.
And I think we have also another area of operation, which is trying to bring out how the youth can actually fit into the society, how they can get in their way out with their day-to-day activities.
Awesome. You guys are doing a lot. You are doing a lot, actually. So what led you to begin to do this sort of projects?
What led us to begin with? I think about my frustration.
Really?
Yeah, it was more, I was talking to them, and it was more about the frustration, what's going on within the African community. And when we talk about the youth, it's the age is between 12 and maybe 35, 40 years. That depends on the person, if the person calls him or herself the youth.
Yeah.
The reason why I said the frustration was high was it wasn't only about our health issues, but a lot of things that is going on within the African youth,
yeah,
if I may say it like that. And we sat down and we talked about it, and we decided, let's form a group, and let's see how we can help the other.
So 3 of you or 4 of you share the vision, because I mean there's a 4th person here looking at us only that she didn't want to come out. So we don't know whether we are free to mention her name or just Emma is here.
Yes.
Well, they wouldn't know which particular Emma, so we just keep it just that way.
Yeah.
We wish we can even hear her voice. She can even say something so that we can also know that she's there. Honey, can you just say hello to our viewers as well?
Hello, viewers. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Right, Emma, back to the idea. So, do you support what Anita has just said?
Yes, I do. Anita approached me some months ago about, she did a project at school.
Yeah.
Some sex project at school, and she was explaining certain things to me, and I was like, certain things that are not that right are going wrong in the African community. So I was like, I will participate.
Participate, yes.
Yeah, her idea. I will just join her.
Yeah.
Join hands, and we can move further.
This is beautiful. So how did you grab in this young man then? I mean, you didn't go.
Yeah, how did I come across? He was interviewing me for his research that he's doing. He's a holder of 2 PhDs. So
hey, PhD, no, yet to be only master, 2 masters.
Okay, he has 2 masters.
Yeah.
Now, he
Awesome.
PhD student.
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
awesome.
And yeah, as he was interviewing me, I talked to him about what I wanted to do, or my frustration about the way we, the youth, are behaving in this country.
Okay.
So that was.
So what have you noticed among the African youths and their sexual life that you would want to focus on in this project?
Well, the reason is that
any one of you is free to speak, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm from the healthcare department, so and they are from the finance, lawyers, and professors.
And different
areas. So the past I think 8-9 years I've been working in the healthcare, and I was working at this laboratory. I can't mention the name now. And I met a lot of youth. Yes. And
African youth?
Yeah, African youth and all that.
Wow.
And I noticed, or I observed, that the way we go about with our issues, our healthcare issues, and even our sexual issues.
Yeah.
And not only that, for me to work as a teacher and a coach in this college here in Holland, I observed and I noticed that a lot of youth are having sex, but in a wrong way.
Really?
Yes.
By the way, are they supposed to have sex when they are not married? So
You
that's a no-go area.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say yes. What
you
do
can tell them not to do, but they will do.
Yes.
When they go out of that, when they enter the outside or like the free world, they can do whatever they want to do. But yeah, what can you say? Don't have sex. Do have sex. But the only thing you can do is create an awareness.
Yes.
Well, if you are having sex, use condom. There are pills you can use. There are diseases you can have. So those things need to be taught to those young. I didn't have an sexual awareness from my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
So
exactly. That's another.
We have to break that
taboo.
penetrate to that.
Breaking it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to break it, because what do you prefer? To have a disease for your whole life?
The thing is, prevent. You can prevent.
That's
the youngsters
prevent it and cure.
Not to have sex.
Yeah, but because
yeah, because from biblical point of view, you know, I'm a reverend minister.
Yes.
Though I'm also in the media. The fact is that youngsters like to practice that. So even when you preach and preach and preach, no matter what they hear from the pulpit, they still go out and they want to try it. But I think those who really have, those who really love their body wouldn't want to be practicing sex, because when you go out having sex when you are not married, you have shame.
Yeah.
You have shame.
Actually, I think the problem is from research and analysis. Now we're talking about Africans, but our focus is mostly on the sub-Saharan Africa, that is West Africa.
Yes.
So the West Africa, so Ghana, Nigeria, and Liberia, and those on the coast, Atlantic coast. So we mean that's what our focus mainly is. So we leave the north and other place. So this West Africa, the issue of sex. I was trying to ask Anita. My research is on the role of religion, ethnic religious organization, in the socio-economic integration of Ghanaians in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Yes.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Speaking.
So from the interviews that I've had and from the conversation that I've had with the pastors,
Yeah.
the issue of sex in the church is a taboo, and
It's
it
true.
is a don't issue. The
Yeah.
preaching is don't.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
once you go to the don't, then what is the do? So they
Yeah.
don't provide the alternative.
They do. I'm a pastor.
Yeah, so the pastors provide the alternative. The alternative is don't have the sex. But why don't you have to have the sex? Why should the guy going out in the streets of Amsterdam,
Yeah.
and meeting people, kissing, and what you are just telling the youth don't have sex?
Yeah.
What is it that he should have?
There-
So that's the
there's no
question.
explanation.
No, that's the question that the pastors,
No, what
the
they
church.
are what they are saying. Let me come in here.
Yeah.
What they are always saying is that you don't have to have sex
Yeah.
because God forbids you to have sex when you are not married.
Yeah. So,
So parents try as much as they can to educate the kids not to have sex, because when you go out having sex when you are not married, first and foremost you are not matured.
okay.
So what you are really having is just sex, not love making.
Okay.
Because love making is from those who are matured.
Yeah.
So when you go about stealing sex and you are doing it, it brings shame. That's why we have most of our girls with the baby prams, and then their education is short-lived. Do you understand?
Yeah,
and
I
they
do
become
understand.
dropouts, and they become poor, impoverished.
But Apostle, the point is, it's true that you are saying that I think I should God forbids sex, so you shouldn't have sex.
No, outside
Marriage. Yeah, so that is very ontological, which means it is still above the youth. The youth at the age of 14,
Yeah.
telling the youth God forbids sex, so don't have sex. You have to come down to the level of the youth in terms of practicality, in terms letting the youth know that the hormones have come,
Yeah.
and these hormones you have to control them,
Yeah.
and you have to let the youth be aware of the fact that the hormones are there.
Yeah.
But in the church, there is nothing like that. The fact is, God
It's true.
says you have to, don't have to have. God is
That
not.
is why that is why intellectuals like you must be in the church, who can help the pastors to create a forum for the youths. Because if the youths have a good forum whereby they can have their social life being met as well in the church, not only the religious aspect of their life, I believe that they will come to terms to understand that if I begin to have sex now with a man who is not prepared to marry me, because the person you are going to have sex with is not really prepared to marry you, actually, because I've noticed that young men would just want to see the diamond of the young girls, and then they drop them after they have seen the diamonds. Then the girl is the one that becomes hopeless, because the boy move on and is busy with his life as if nothing happened, because he is acting just like a he-goat, going about removing his pants. But the girl is the one that feels the pain.
Apostle, what about the guy then?
He doesn't feel shame.
Okay.
That we don't know.
But I think.
That we really don't know, because guys have feelings too. So the question is, what do we give to our children, whether it's a boy or it's a girl? And for the boy, if it's the guy or the boy is brought well at home,
Yeah.
he knows if I with a girl, I should treat her right.
It's true.
Yes. So those are the two things. And you were saying about if you are matured, then you are married. And before that, well, what if the person is above 25 years?
The Bible said that you don't, I will always say it what the Bible said, because God is the one who made us, and God knows why He didn't want that we have to go about involving ourselves in sexual act before we get settled. As much as the hormones are crying out and the hormones are too ready to jump into it, you just have, if you fear God, I think you will just have to do what God wants you to do. Because I've seen that when people go outside their marital circle to go and have sex, it brings shame.
Yeah, Apostle, I do agree with you
It
that
brings shame.
it brings shame.
And the hearts have been broken.
Yeah.
Hearts have been broken.
But
you see?
This message is what we are trying to. My point is that God I'm a Catholic, And as a Catholic, the church that forbids sex outside marriage, and also forbid the use of even condom now. It is being reduced. I mean, to HIV areas where it is very risky. You can use condoms and other preventive measures. Now, it brings shame. In I think before this program, I did some research, and in 1999, 2000, early 2000, when in Holland, when migrants of sub-Saharan Africans started coming here in their numbers, they did this research not among the youth, but among our parents who had come here at that particular time. And they realized that for them, sex wasn't anything. Actually, they weren't educated in sex. And these are the parents who have given birth to this youth. And how can you give what you don't have?
They can't give it.
You can't give it. You could be maybe even that person has become a pastor. That parent has become a pastor. He or she still doesn't have that education or how to approach sex. So that is a problem. It's good. I know I'm a Christian. It's good. God says we shouldn't have sex, but how do we control our biological body? So I think there was this question of how Christianity actually drew us from sex education.
Exactly. But I don't think Christianity ought to make us not to be aware of sex education. I think Christianity must help us, because everything that we need to be accurate beings are in the Bible. Like myself, I'm not just only a preacher woman. I'm also in the media. I'm also a relationship consultant, you see. So I develop courses that youths or young people, how do you enter into a relationship? How can you stay focused in your marriage? How can you enhance your marital relationship? All of those courses I've developed, okay? So with the intention of helping the younger ones to know more about what sex is all about, and how to stay focused in a relationship, and how to get the right man or get the right woman. Okay, because sometimes we just only look from the outward appearance, and then we commit a lot of blunder. And some of us, our parents are not educated, so they were not very exposed to teaching us what sex is all about, and it's just a taboo. So in my own generation, I'm looking forward to breaking it so that it will become a topic that can easily be discussed. You don't need to shy away, because it's something normal. So we have to discuss it so that the youths will not continue to make mistakes.
So I think it's...
Yes, so, you can say something, any of you.
So I think otherwise this topic comes and I may be talking too much to tell because the point remains that there was this pastor who just gave me an example. He said he went to preach at a wedding. He knew this youth from the very beginning, from their early life, and they have grown up as good Christians. They have stayed out of sex till marriage. Also on their wedding, and when they went on honeymoon, on the first night they couldn't have sex.
Exactly.
There was problems, so he went back to where he lived, about 3 hours from about 100 kilometers. So this couple called him and said, "Pastor, we want to come to your place for the honeymoon." Then he said he figured out that something was going wrong. And he told them, "Go to the pharmaceutical shop and buy this gel, K whatever." He gave them the name to buy the gel. And when they came, then he taught them how to actually approach
each other.
Each other, and then how to have sex for the first time. These people were university graduates. They weren't.
She was so naive. Yes, I can understand.
So it's not a matter of we do not. The pastors are not doing much to come to the level where the youth have to understand. If not, it will still be. You can imagine in the recent interviews, they said in a year, especially where we have sanctions. In a year, they have sanctioned about 4 youth, because they got pregnant. And then still the only thing the church does is to sanction the youth. And
they could not really correct them on the right way to do it.
Actually, it is not just those who are fathered, but they should raise an awareness within the church.
It's very, very important. I buy to that, because I see that the spiritual. Last night I was in a pastoral forum where they hosted the pastors and their wives. Okay, okay. So something like this came up because I saw that in the spiritual, in the church level, it's like the spirituality is too high and then the social life is down too low, so it's not balanced. So I am of the opinion that balanced education must be given also in the church. So even regarding to sexual education, whereby sexual orientation, whereby the youths have to know everything about sex. I mean, our parents have to come out from that shelf, and also the pastors have to come out from that shelf to discussing this sort of issues. Create a forum whereby the youths, let them you explore to know what sex is all about, be very free about it. That's also why we have relationship consultants like myself.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Well, I find that very important because one thing we shouldn't forget, we were all brought up with the Christian religion.
Yeah.
But when we take science, the youth, how do you call it, brain is completely developed at the age of 25 years. So before that, under the age of 25,
yeah,
we will do stupid things. We are going to do things that a parent will sit down and ask him or herself, why is my child doing this?
Yeah.
So that's where the awareness should be brought up and it should be told.
Before the age of 25.
Before the age.
It is very, very
it should
important.
Be stamped in.
It is very, very,
yeah.
It's very, very, very important. I believe teaching the youths on how to enter into relationship.
Yes.
Okay. Even teaching them to explore their body is very important, because
very important.
I went to Nigeria, and then I found out that my nephews who were also graduates, but I saw that when they passed me 2 or 3 times, they were smelling. Sorry to say this. I saw that they were men, boys, young boys. Their armpits, but academically they are very high. But the other side, health-wise, that which will scare a woman, they don't know how to maintain their bodies. So I had to ask her. I said, "Come on, lift up your armpit. Let me see." I saw this big hair hanging there. I said, "Wow." I said, "No woman will like this." So they came out in the morning for me to pray with them. So once the boys come out from their own room, we begin to notice some booming.
Yeah.
Their mouth is smelling. They are singing the hallelujah. But I'm looking for where to put my nose. So I had to break this, and I said, "Which of you is booming like this?" There, my father began to laugh. I said, "Please, when you wash your tongue," I said, "Maybe their mothers were there." I said, "Maybe they are not telling you, but please, when you go to wash your tongue, wash not only to brush your mouth, not only the teeth, also the tongue up and down. Wash it." Because that could be where the smell is hanging. And because if any woman you want to go and kiss the woman will just snub you, and then the next time it's gonna be divorce. Secondly, your armpit doesn't need to have such heavy hair there. Try to shave the armpit. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right. So this sort of thing must be taught to the boys and the girls while in the church.
Yeah. So
because if their parents are not able to teach those things, then in the church it has to be taught.
yeah, I think the parents are the ones. I think if someone said that if they are not able to speak in the house, how can they speak in the church?
Yes.
So in the house, the mother might, if it's the best way is if you touch even a man, to tell the child to avoid. Say if you touch a man, you can have this kind of disease. Just a way of
I heard
drawing.
that.
And those kind of things.
I heard that.
Yeah, the way of so it means the approach is still a problem among the parents.
Yeah.
And the parents are the pastors, the parents are the elders, so we shouldn't expect so much difference also in the church because we are in the church. So I think the youth leaders are the ones who can help, but unfortunately the youth leaders normally they are not actually the youth as such. They are also elderly people who are just part of the youth, who are taking care of the youth. And the
youth have no say.
Yeah, and also and it is a kind of those people, because some people also told me they tried to approach it, but they were cautioned by the leaders of the church because it is profane to speak about sex in the church. Yeah, it is not to speak about because you ask people.
I know what you mean. Yes, I know.
They have put sex education into marriage counseling, but marriage counseling is different from sex education.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
then they call it sexuality education because it's about the whole body.
Yeah.
We in the church we don't understand our bodies. I stayed in the in the church from Sunday school till now.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to know about my body from my books, from my biology, from my home economist, my mistress.
Yeah.
That was why I got to know my body.
Yeah.
So the
True.
body is not taught in the church, but it is the body which we want to
No,
keep for God.
But the fact is that
So
you
how do
started
we-
from home. The body has to be taught first from the home.
Yeah.
Before you begin to go to the church.
Yes.
So your mother, your father are supposed to do something like that.
Yeah,
But,
so
if they can help us with that,
Mhm.
we shouldn't be a disgrace to the community.
No,
Or
you
to
shouldn't.
no, we shouldn't. Then
You,
it's
you
not
should
our
be
fault.
very bold to come out and speak.
But not everyone can do that. Not
but
every youth.
you
can
even
do
need
that.
a forum to speak because the church is the forum that we have. And if you are told not to speak, how do you speak?
You
If-
create
if-
then you create a sort of umbrella that you have now.
Yeah, so
your foundation.
Yeah, that's why
And so
a good
whereby
idea is-
youth can always come. But I want you to know that whenever you would want to discuss issues regarding to sexual and relationship, please, I will just ask me. I will give my own input.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, you made mention about radical sexual behavior. Can you define for us, to the congregation that are watching, what this radicality is all about?
I think the radical is more mine saying that
Yeah.
I've been using because of how I have seen, observed, and I have been working with the youth that are very sexually active but doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it, I don't think anyone can blame them, the ones that are doing that, because of if you don't get any awareness or any education about the sexual issue,
Okay.
you will be doing it on your own way.
Yeah. So
Until or unless
you are being
get,
taught the right way.
Yes.
That's what you mean.
Yes, please. And I'm saying it radically because the politici are saying we the young ones, like this, how do you call it, the
Sub-Saharan.
Yeah, Sub-Saharan.
Africans.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go to the GGD, the moment you feel, they will ask you which part of Africa you come from.
Yeah.
And when you say you're from the Sub-Sahara, within 3 days they will call you,
Okay.
because that is the label that they've labeled us.
Yeah.
That we our sexual behavior is very bad.
Oh.
Yes. So maybe someone from the northern part of Africa
Yeah.
will go there to ask for an appointment, and the person should wait 1 week.
Yeah.
We mostly from the West Africa,
Yes.
within 3 days you'll be called.
Really?
Yes, and that's very. Yeah, that's
So
not good.
you'll be called to do what then? What do they call you for? To check whether you have
Yeah.
HIV,
Yes,
AIDS,
yes.
and all of those
Yeah.
venereal
Yeah.
diseases?
Yeah, mostly.
You're sure of what you're saying?
Yes.
But those as well, from my experience, I've also noticed that those from the northern part of Africa,
Yeah.
they claim not to be having sex.
Yeah.
But what they do is that they don't have the vaginal sex. What they have is the anal sex.
That's true.
So, because I got a doctor who came to talk about vaginal reconstruction. Why would it need reconstruction? Because those from the northern zones, northern Africa, they involve in the anus, and then their mothers try to they go and they disvirgin, and they pretend as if they have not.
Yeah.
So before they marry, then their parents take them to reconstruction so that they can they can be reconstructed.
Yeah, I think that this practice among the North Africans, even someone did a research in Canada among the youth in Canada, and they realized that yes, even in Canada they do that in order to avoid not being a virgin at the time of marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the anal sex to prevent that. Unfortunately, the facts do not show that we the HIV actually. I mean, even is the highest in terms of the data shows that the highest in the world where they live mostly are in West Africa. But the numbers in Amsterdam, as of 1999 when they organized this early among, because that time was when HIV was everywhere, among the about 900 sub-Saharan Africans that they tested, none of them proved positive. Instead, those from Suriname and other places proved positive.
Yeah.
So it's because we are from that place.
Yeah.
When we go there, we are potential
Carriers.
carriers, yeah, suspect or carriers of this HIV. But there's one thing that they suggested that was very important, which I think, because they said at that particular time we didn't have, but what about after some time, there, in Amsterdam, there is this kind of inter-ethnic marriages, inter-ethnic sexual behaviors. So others have, at that time, even among the Dutch, it was higher among the Dutch. So having sex, marrying ourselves and others is one of the ways in which it can contribute to sexual STD and HIV, STD-related diseases. And also, I think the use of multiple partners, not having, so that is one of the issues too that they came. About 50% of those interviewed did not have one partner. They just moved from one place to another. So these are the issues which also think among the youth is very important to deal with. To use the condom to deal with, because and it's all because relationships do not last. And why relationships do not last? Because we don't understand the issue of relationship.
You didn't enter into it properly, because somebody needs to teach you how to enter into a valid relationship, a lasting relationship.
So that is what I think we as Christians and we as youth in the this A Good Year has come to be an alternative to that, to break through, because we need to break through the system, and also to be able to get in touch with the youth and let them know what their body is and what they stand for, because that is not all. I mean, sex is not all. There are a lot more. But if we don't know, out of ignorance, we can do a lot of things as youth or as human beings. But if we become aware of it and we know what we are, because I'm happy to be a Christian, but the fact is, I'm told my body is for God, my body is holy. I will have to interpret it in my daily life. I think as a sociologist, I have to interpret it in my daily life. What do I mean by that? And how do I keep to it? So this is something. It's not there's a missing link. So which as apostle, and I think we have to, and yes, we have the Pentecostal churches are the majority. I mean, majority of population here, and the dons are something which we have to deal with to be able to help the youth themselves. And one of the youth in my interest said, in the Bible, actually, sex is not mentioned so much. I mean, it's there, but the way it is branded, it's not the way that is brought to the congregation. In the Bible, sex is not branded as that serious, that tiger in the bush or that elephant in the bush, but it is something which is sweet, close to people. Because even Jesus, when they met, he said, who accused you? And he said, none. Go and sin no more. So why do we have to be afraid of sex? If we are afraid of it, we as youth, we have to go and see, because we are not afraid of anything. We want to see what is there.
Thank you so much, Richard, and thank you for your group day. A good day. I'm so proud of you young ones. I'm very, very proud, and it's my desire that you will affect your generation positively and be very bold to talk about these issues. You know, if people like you don't come out to challenge the church and the things that are going on, the preachers will just remain in the pulpit and just be preaching things that are not very, very practical. So it's very good that youths like you, and I desire any youth watching us, this is the right organization for you to belong. So give them a call right now in the studio of Majesty Christian Television Network on 02033 74160. Just give a call here and ask these youths how you may be part of what they are doing. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you.
Now, have you fully explained to us what radical sexual life is all about? And how do you know that they are having this sexual, radical sexual life? Yes, behavior.
I work with them, so I know.
So in what way does it show? Because maybe there's a lay person out there in the home watching and saying, whoops, they are really making a point, which I do not know as a mother. How do you explain to a layman, a lay mother out there, what radical, the forms of this radicality? This, do you understand me?
Yeah.
Right. So let me hear from the girls.
Well, I can say I can make a point on teenage pregnancy.
Yes, okay.
Teenage pregnancy, you can see a lot of young girls
Mhm.
in Amsterdam having a cute belly or pushing the kinderwagen.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the radical
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah.
Practicing sex without condom
Yeah.
or any protection. So at
Okay.
the end of the day, you will see that they get pregnant.
And when they get pregnant, what happens? They are trapped.
They're trapped once, or they will go for an abortion,
Okay.
or they will keep it. Those are two things.
Yeah, what I mean by when they keep it, do they keep it and yet they are still going to school?
Most of them, some of
yeah.
them, I know they just continue their
Yeah.
education.
Okay.
But you have some of them, they just stop and just go for benefits.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then that is where they end.
That's the end.
And then poverty comes in somehow down the line.
Yeah.
So that's the implication.
That's the implication.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, I think every parent knows when his or her daughter or son starts with sexual activities. Every parent knows that.
Yeah, because they lose shyness.
Yes, and so most of the
They become
parents
rude.
they will be looking like this. But I think as a parent, the moment you notice that, even before that, talk to your child, because we make our own choices,
Okay.
whether the parents like them or not.
Yeah.
So if you teach us what to do, or you teach us maybe about the consequences and what will happen, or
Yeah.
anything that you can teach us is very important, because then the choice is ours to make it
It's
or
true.
not.
It's true.
So what I'm advising, or what I'm telling the parents, is that when you notice that, just talk to your child.
Yeah.
That's very important.
That's very, very important. Not to pretend about
Not
it.
not to pretend about it,
yeah.
because I know I was once talking to a student, and she told me, Yifrau, my mom thinks I'm still a virgin. And I was like, no, your mom knows
It's true.
you are practicing.
Yeah, it's very, it's
Yeah.
very true, because we have this our son in Ghana, and then when I went to his Facebook, I began to see breasts of girls, and I began to see that he's he's just, and then I saw another one where he's just hanging his head almost at the breast of the girl. I said, hey, what do you think you are doing? What do you think you are doing? You are beginning to have sex, or what? Because that's not the intention. You have to study. You have to graduate. At least you have to. So it's like when we are trying to address him, he's very, very far.
Well, as Richard said, the hormones.
Yeah.
At that age, or at this age, it's very normally that your hormones will be like jumping around and wanting to try.
Yeah, but there are youths like him as well in the church, and they are very, 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 very serious committed with things of God, and they are just waiting, for the time they
Also,
would
that one,
graduate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm very
No,
skeptic.
no,
I'm
because-
very skeptic about that.
No, but there are, I think,
There are.
but there are people who are actually living, waiting on the Lord, and they engage themselves with, not because they were taught so much in the church, but because their own personal conviction. Because at that point in time, I think at a point in time in your life, you have to take some decision for yourself. So that is those people. Because one girl told me, yes, I had this boyfriend, but what he wanted is sex, but I want to remain a virgin.
Yes,
And so I
Yes, I know
divorced.
about that.
I
Yeah.
divorced her. I'm not divorced her. I really
No,
I broke relationship.
I'm not saying all of them.
No,
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
I'm not saying all
Yeah,
of them.
some.
But sometimes, from experience, I know sometimes some people act like my devotion is on God and all that, and
But
then
they are
will-
busy.
They are doing
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah,
but
so-
I know
yeah.
there are some,
Yeah, and also
some of
I
them
think
that are-
also the problem with I mean in Amsterdam, in Holland, is fortunately or whether unfortunately, we do have a lot of migrants. Different those in Burma is where we have the African community,
Yeah.
and intermarriage between among Africans is high.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the studies show that when an African,
Yeah.
a West African, we are using it, so African is going to have sex with a white person, the African prefers to use condom than to go eat without
raw.
raw.
Yeah, raw.
But
Just
raw.
So what's the reason?
So, but when they have sex with African, they want to use and they want to go it raw rather than go for condom. So
What's the reason?
yeah, the reason is that they are afraid of the white because the white might be having might have some kind of disease which they don't know. It's because they are not their acquaintance is not that strong.
Oh,
But-
No, Richard.
but
Not everyone.
Yeah.
Richard, please.
So this
Richard.
I think this is what you guys are talking.
No,
Boys are always
Let me finish with my point and then
Yes,
you
okay.
and then so but sex among the Africans are higher than sex among the whites. So then that's why the issue of teenage pregnancy, because if you see teenage pregnancy, the children that come out of those teenage are not the children with white people. They are the children with Africanians or Nigerians.
because the white ones are taking pills.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yes.
So their parents are giving them and they are taking pills. So
Because I have to answer this.
Yeah, please do.
The thing, we Africans see condoms as something as a taboo.
yeah.
And if I should be in a relationship with someone and I bring out a condom,
Mm.
the first thing most guy will, the guy
Think
will
that
ask
you are
me,
corrupt.
yeah, I'm corrupt,
Yeah.
or I'm doing it with another person. That's
Exactly.
why I'm not. So to win their trust,
You pretend.
you pretend that I'm okay with that. And you know, with a
Yeah.
white person, he or she will come. No, let's do it with a condom. But with an African, it's
Mentality, because maybe the white girl is not really after
But-
being married.
yes.
But
Yeah.
And then-
the black girl will want
yeah.
immediately you have that sort of intercourse. I mean, she feels her pride is gone, so she will want to hook up permanently with.
Well, and the condom affair is that most of the condoms are too small,
Mhm.
and most
Too small for, so they have sizes
For the
Or what?
penny.
yeah.
I've learned a lot today from these
Yes,
kids, but
it's
it's true that they can say what is in their heart
Yeah.
than for them to hide and be talking about it.
Well, those were the complaints I was hearing. It's too small. It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit the African man.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, at the point in time in the process of the intercourse, there is a kind of wear and tear, and then so what do you protect? We didn't want to let the sperm enter into the
Really?
vagina, but it has.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
So it comes a problem, and I
Yes,
think
exactly.
in Kenya they debated about it
Yes,
in
that's
the
true.
parliament that
Really?
the
The
condom
parliament.
was
Too small.
too small.
Then they have to make a bigger one. Though.
There are bigger sizes.
Because we are not just only talking about youths here.
Yeah.
I mean, for also married couples who do not want to continue to have children,
Yeah.
for birth control. So if they want to use that, to avoid, they need something big. So you better can make it. I don't even know the type my husband. Do you use? Well, somebody out there, this is coming to you live from Majesty Christian Television Network. Remember, our topic tonight is on radical sexual behavior of African youths and its health implications. Thank you so much. I think it would be nice that we take a short break. However, give us a call on 020-374-160 should you want to interact with Thelma or with Richard or with Anita or Emma.